Joining us now is Okpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Jinx.
Good morning, Dr. Abati. How are you?
Don't know what color is
No,
this
forget
one?
about the color. Yesterday, I'm looking for a nickname for Dr. Abati. Can you help me out?
We're going to figure one out.
We have to.
And he has to hate it.
We have to.
Otherwise,
What is this color you are wearing?
Good morning, Tundu.
Good morning, Tundu.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Can you
know
help
this
out?
color.
Can you help out?
You know, this
Tan.
is tan.
Yes, she
Tan.
said so yesterday.
Okay. It's not brown.
Rufai. Rufai, good morning.
For some weird reason, when Tulu said tangerine came to my head.
Of course, why not?
For some weird reason. Good morning, Oji.
want a
You're
snack?
looking fabulous.
You too. Thank you. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. In the United Kingdom, hundreds of people left messages of support on Marcus Rashford's mural, which was vandalized in the wake of England's Euro 2020 final defeat. The English striker took to social media to thank the fans for their support after scores took the knee in protest against the racial injustice and in solidarity with the player. In Canada, more than 160 undocumented and unmarked graves have been discovered at the site of a former residential school in the country's west coast. The graves are the latest in a string of similar recent discoveries at former residential schools across Canada. In Iran, Hamdan, a state-sanctioned dating app to facilitate lasting and informed marriage in the country, has been unveiled. According to reports, the app uses artificial intelligence to find matches only for bachelors seeking permanent marriage and a single spouse. In Jamaica, reactions have trailed the government's decision to demand £7 billion in compensation from the United Kingdom for the Atlantic slave trade in the former British colony. In Nigeria, photos of the governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, arresting armed hoodlums who were about to attack a motorist when his convoy arrived at the scene at the Ojota area of the state, have made the rounds. And Senator Mohammed Ali Ndume, in a video that has now gone viral, made a grammatical blunder while addressing journalists on Nigeria's current state of affairs.
All I can say is all is well, and we're expecting light at the end of the tunnel, inshallah. At the end of the tunnel, not toilet.
Under sports, 20-time Grand Slam tennis champion Roger Federer, withdrawing from the upcoming Tokyo Olympics after a setback in his recovery from a knee injury, tops the trend. Finally, under entertainment, 2 television series, The Crown and The Mandalorian, have snagged the highest nominations for the 2021 edition of the Emmy Awards, which will take place on September 19th. And 3-time Emmy Award winner, American-born Nigerian actress Uzo Adigboah was nominated for Outstanding Lead Actress in a drama series for her role in Treatment. Well, let's begin What's Trending by celebrating the chairman and editor-in-chief of THISDAY Arise Media Group, Prince Nduka Obaigbena, who turns 62 today with this throwback video.
Nduka Obaigbena is a man of impeccable character.
I call him superstar.
A man that is incredibly creative, nationalistic, and his courage remains legendary.
A very, very nice and defendable friend.
Nduka is bold. One of the people I know with the brightest ideas in the world.
He is somebody who stands for the truth. He's a very fair person.
His creativity, his cerebral power. Nduka is always pioneering. He's led in so many ways, so many areas.
His vision, self-belief, and tenacity was clear from his youth.
Nduka has been a pace setter. That's the right one. A pace setter, a visionary. You can see it from all perspectives. He was always one to think outside the box and always unafraid to push the boundaries. He scored so many firsts in the media industry in this country, especially in the print media space.
Nduka, the Duke, Jalango, my friend, the strong. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord be with you.
May the Lord strengthen you. May the Lord open his doors of favor over your life. Give you very good health. Give you long life. Forgive your sins. Turn your life around and make you a blessing. You will not fail. You will not fall. You will live long to do great and mighty things.
Well, happy birthday to our chairman. We celebrate you. Happy birthday. You are going to sing for us, Dr. Abati, of course.
No, don't put me on the spot. Tundu is a better singer. Tundu, you do it.
Shall we? Okay.
All right.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Let's get refined vision. Happy birthday, dear chairman. Happy birthday to you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
But what I told you is that there are implications.
Yes.
Maybe you will start on that point immediately after the program.
Why not?
Because OG is up to the task.
My chairman is up to the task. He's even over the task.
We will start it here from the office.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, OG, thank you for agreeing. The bullet gang is on standby.
You're very welcome. Well, all right. Let's start what's trending. President Muhammadu Buhari's comment about being excited that Nigerians voted for him despite being not rich has generated reactions on social media. The president made the comment on Tuesday when he received the report of the National Security Summit held on May 26 by the House of Representatives. Recalling the support he got during his presidential campaign, Buhari said the number of people that turned out to see him, some waiting for 10 hours in the sun, was more than anyone could buy or force. While many Nigerians have shared mixed reactions, giving reasons as to why they voted for him. Let's take a comment from Mike, who wrote, "It was a mistake that shouldn't have happened. We wanted change for the better. But what we are getting right now is unimaginably terrible. I am sure when your term is over, you would understand the extent of the damage you have done to this nation. We are more divided than you met it." Well, Mike's tweet is the rhetoric on social media at this point. But you know that President Muhammadu Buhari has a following. I mean, there are a lot of people that love him as well. You cannot fault Nigerians at this point if they, go with Mike's tweets, because as you know, there's so much going on with insecurity and the agitations for secession.
Some Nigerians would agree with Mike, but like you said, he does have a huge following. I always think of President Muhammadu Buhari as that politician that's good for 12 million votes, which is exactly why he was wooed and why that coalition came about, the CPC and AD. That became APC. I get confused now. They've all just been all over the place. But anyway, so that's why ACN, it was AD, then ACNDC. So that's why APC was born and he was wooed, because he brings that massive following. And he is right that it's never been about money. Yeah. President Muhammadu Buhari has never been a flash geezer. No, he's a man of the people. What people love about him, he actually commands this sort of cult-like following. What they love about him is that he's a man of the people. He's simple. He has sort of ascetic tastes. He's not extravagant. He's perceived as upright, brisk, no nonsense, and he was going to just kick Boko Haram out of Nigeria. That is what drew the people to him. He had nothing to do with money, so he's correct. Now, whether those expectations have been met, it will depend on the individual.
Absolutely. Dr. Abati, your comment?
Well, I don't think that the electorate should vote for anybody on the basis of whether they are rich or poor. That in itself is not an achievement. Leaders are voted into office so that they can make a difference in the people's lives. President Muhammadu Buhari, for about 12 years, wanted to be president of Nigeria. He did not succeed until he tried again the fourth time. Nigerians in 2015 had great expectations. I think the accent is on the assessment of the Nigerian people. What do they think in terms of what he's been able to achieve? It's not enough to have a cult followership, but the issue is how will you be remembered? And I think that the more important issue before the advisors and supporters of President Buhari is to begin to ask the question now, what legacy is President Buhari leaving behind? How will he be remembered? He had the ambition, he achieved that ambition. The question is no longer how, or whether he was rich or he's poor. I guess, now that he's been president, he won't be poor again, but what legacy is he leaving behind? When I saw that story, I was a bit, worried that out of the interaction with members of the House of Representatives yesterday, the leadership of the House, led by Femi Gbajabiamila, that the only major thing that has come out of it is, a side comment made by the president about whether he was rich or not. I think we should focus more on the substance of that interaction by the National Security Committee of the House of Representatives, which organized a seminar in May on the security situation in the country. And for me, the bigger outcome of that interaction with the lawmakers would seem to be the recommendations made by those lawmakers with regard to national security. They are asking the president, for example, to consider the engagement of private security, private defense contractors, popularly known as mercenaries. They are asking for security units to be put in place in all 774 local governments of Nigeria. They were asking the president to see what he can do about the police trust fund and how more infrastructure can be provided for the police. In total, because we don't have time, they have about 12 recommendations. Now, this is a way of sharing with the president the outcome of that security summit that they had in May. I think we should be focusing more on that, and for the president to pay attention to some of those recommendations. In summary, those lawmakers were telling the president the security situation in the country is very difficult and something needs to be done by the military, by the police, and certain concrete steps need to be taken as to whether a candidate for presidency is rich or poor. No, that's not relevant. We can make a poor man the president of Nigeria as long as he gets in there and it makes a difference. He improves upon our circumstances, and he leaves behind a very strong legacy. It's not time yet to begin to debate the legacy of this administration, but that time will come, and President Buhari should begin to work towards the construction of that legacy.
Would that be like your principal who told us during his campaign how he had no shoes?
I knew you were going to have a comeback.
Well, you know me. And that was what he was trying to make, is that he felt loved.
This is what he was trying to make, and I thought it was a nice statement,
to tell people that he's loved.
Yes.
And that Nigerians are very lucky.
Yes, he was wondering how come they voted for him.
Because I thought I saw that in the report, that we are very lucky.
Yes, that's what he said. Yeah. Rufai, your comment.
For me, I don't care whoever the antecedents of whoever becomes president is. All I care about is make Nigerians happy. Inacio Lula da Silva, one of the most respected politicians in the world, didn't even have his secondary school certificates. But he's still one of the best presidents in recent times in Brazil. He brought 20 million people out of poverty. That's the kind of president I want. I don't care if he's rich or poor. As long as you bring people out of poverty. Is the case the same in Nigeria? No. 33% unemployment rate. A lot of people thought being a general, it will end insecurity. Now bandits are taking over most local governments in the state. Kaduna State government brought out a report, said over 700 people attacked by bandits. People are being killed every day. 100 farmers killed in Zabamari. Killings every day. There is no one day you open the newspaper, you don't see killings. The economy is an all-time low. Some people said they didn't say that. Some people said they said that. They said they'll turn $1 to £1. But as it is today, a pound sterling, we're talking with Dr. Bati yesterday, is 723. 723 to £1 sterling that used to be 1 to 1 many years ago in this country. Those are the things we should talk about. Those are the issues biting Nigerians. I'm sure Nigerians don't really care who is rich or who is poor. But what they want is action. Even if you say you were poor, money was used to run that election. Nigeria wants a country that works for all. Nigeria wants a country where corruption is tackled, where people are not told that if you join a certain political party, your sins are forgiven. Nigeria wants a country that works for all. And as regards the luck comment, please, no nation on earth works on luck. Nations make their own luck. After the Second World War, Britain made its own luck for the welfare of its people when he set up the NHS. When William Beveridge wrote a book called The Five Giants and told Britain that if you don't tackle insecurity, poverty, and squalor, Britain will falter. So nations make their own luck. America made its own luck after the Second World War and it became a great superpower. And what is luck anyway? Luck is preparation meeting opportunity. You need to prepare, then the opportunity comes and you say you have luck. Nigeria needs to make its own luck with forthright leadership, proper planning, and accountability most above all, and the rights of the people being respected.
Well said, Rufai. We'll take another story. The Senate on Tuesday prescribed a 20-year jail term for persons caught snatching ballot materials and a 15-year jail term for those who influence the outcome of elections. The Electoral Offences Bill, which was sponsored by Abubakar Kyari, a senator representing Borno North, also prescribed a 5-year jail term or a 10 million naira fine for party officials who engage in electoral fraud, including a 10-year jail term for those selling voter cards. The Senate passed the bill establishing the Electoral Offences Commission following the consideration of the report of the Senate Committee on the Independent National Electoral Commission. It's about time, Tundu. Yes. I mean, this bill that was passed yesterday on Tuesday, I thought that it was amazing with all the details. And I hope that it helps in some way, to straighten out electoral offenses.
I hope so too. I mean, I often bemoan the glacial pace of governance. This has been in the offing since Umaru Yar'Adua was president and, called for that Justice Uwais panel to his eternal credit. But finally, we're getting somewhere with the Electoral Offences Commission. What we tend to see after every election, you get like the police parading a couple of shamefaced individuals with like a bundle of naira where they were caught trying to be silly and, commit some kind of electoral malpractice, and they take a picture or they have them on TV, then that's the last thing we hear about it. But what I really worry about, as always, is the enforcement of these things and the fact that there are sacred cows that don't get touched, no matter what bill, no matter how noble the intention is.
You're absolutely right, Tundu, Dr. Abati.
Yeah, we have thousands upon thousands of polling units in Nigeria. And this is the third time we're discussing this subject this morning. Yes, the point is, how do you implement the law? The true test of it is in the implementation.
Right.
Section 150 of the Act that has now been amended by the Senate says that, look, electoral fraud is not acceptable in Nigeria. And if you are, arrested, you get tried either in a magistrate court or a high court in the 36 states of the Federation or also in the Federal Capital Territory. Every election, we see cases of electoral fraud. But because there's not been diligent prosecution of electoral offenses, you find that this impunity is recycled from one election to the other, either the main elections or the off-cycle elections. I raised a point earlier on about the capacity of INEC, to be able to prosecute persons. After the 2019 elections, only about 24 cases have been taken to court out of about 5,000. If they have different statistics, let them tell us. We would like to know. Okay? So you find that at the level of the INEC, there isn't enough capacity. Two, on election day, the security agencies that take part in monitoring elections, they call it, concentric circle, that, one INEC official described it. Now, that concentric circle is a concentric circle of collusion, of corruption. Because you see that actively is the security agencies themselves that promote electoral offenses. Now, if you look at the laws, the existing laws, which have not been enforced, Part 4 of the Electoral Act from sections 118 to 133, reinforced earlier in section 17 and other sections of that Electoral Act. Even when you hold a political rally, or a political gathering or meeting, and you misbehave, there is penalty for it. Now, all these political meetings that people hold, don't they misbehave? At the height of COVID-19 in 2020, politicians were not using masks. They were saying that, look, the electorate, they don't want masks, and, they need to shake hands with people. If you are riotous at a political gathering, it's an offense under the law. So who is going to enforce it? It's not enough to just make the law. It is more important to put structures in place to make sure that that is enforced. And after the National Assembly has made the law, the same politicians who want to promote their own interests, who want to rig elections, would there be the political will to actually activate those new amendments, despite the fact, however, that the penalties as proposed in this amendment, they are stiffer.
They are very stiff, and that's what I thought was very important in the bill. Rufai, we'll take our final story so you can discuss that. In Ghana, where the country's First Lady, Rebecca Akufo-Addo, has offered to refund all the allowances she received, amounting to 899,000 Ghanaian cedes, since her husband, President Nana Akufo Addo, assumed office in 2017, following a public outcry over salaries. The First Lady, in a statement released on Monday, said she had decided to refund the money in view of the extremely negative opinion in some cases, which she finds distasteful, seeking to portray her as a venal, self-serving and self-centered woman who does not care about the plight of the ordinary Ghanaian. She went further to state that she did not request to be paid and had only received that which existed and attached to her status. Last week, Ghanaians expressed outrage at the decision by MPs to approve salaries for the wives of the president and vice president for the supportive role they play. Rufai, over to you. How noble was that gesture?
I mean, this is another example of the people power, and kudos to Ghanaians. They're speaking up, they're taking their country back. And that's why there's a big protest going on in Ghana called Fix the Country. Parliament can say they want to pay spouses of the president and vice president in a country that has 12% unemployment rate. I'm talking of Ghana. People are crying. Things are not working for people. The impact of COVID-19 is hitting hard. And then we say that. I've checked through the Constitution of Ghana in 1992 Constitution of Ghana. I don't see a role for the wife of the president there or the First Lady. All of a sudden, we're seeing allowances and everything. The people have said what they want. And this should be an indication for all of us to do what is right for the people. Because leaders forget in a hurry that they're servants. You're there to serve the people. And it should not be about you. So good what she has done, she should return the money, and it should never happen going forward. The president should be catered to, the spouse of the president, not in the Constitution. I should say that strongly.
Said Rufai, Tundu, your analysis.
Right. We had a guest on earlier, and I was telling him that I didn't really understand why the Senate feels that they can't bring themselves to admit that they bow to public opinion. Public servants should bow to public opinion. That is your job.
Absolutely.
To serve the public. Vox populi, vox dei. You are supposed to listen and be responsive and be accountable, which is what the Ghanaian First Lady has done. She handled that well because she specifically said that it is because of the outcry that she's taken this action. And I think that's all people need. Gaffes are inevitable, right? It's just really how you address it and how you respect the public that you're serving and respect their voices. Nobody wants to go down in history as one of those, poster girls for spousal excess, like Marie Antoinette, poor dear. She never said, let them eat cake, but she was a bit flash, wasn't she? Imelda Marcos. There's so many of them in history. Nobody wants that for themselves. So kudos to the Ghanaian First Lady. She did the right thing.
Yes.
Well, the argument by Ghanaians, the protest started since May. The parliament had been working on approving these allowances, about $3,500 per month. But they've been collecting, the First Lady and the Second Lady have both been collecting allowances as executive privileges since 2017. And now Mrs. Akufo-Addo, Rebecca Akufo-Addo, will be refunding over $151,000. Now, we've not heard from the wife of the vice president, Samira Bawumia. That's her name. I hope that she too will follow suit and refund all the allowances that she has been collecting as executive privilege, because there's no basis for it in the Ghanaian constitution. The second point to note is that this is as a result of public pressure.
Which is great.
Ghanaians have been protesting, fix Ghana now, fix the country, and they've been out there on the streets. And one of the major issues is these allowances approved for the First Lady and the Second Lady. The other point to make is that Nigeria should learn from this. Here in Nigeria, it's even worse. It's not even just allowances. There are meddlesome First Ladies in Nigeria at various levels over the years, who get involved in the governance process. The people expect that he's the person that they voted for. No matter the challenges any elected person may have in the other room, they should not extend the privileges in the other room as a line item in the national budget.
Yes,
I think that is the main point.
Well said.
Okay?
We're going to party right now, right, guys?
Okay.
Is it too early to party?
Thank you very much,
Thank you, Dr. Matthew. See you.